Earth as a singular planet. In fact, it is anything but. For this is a story not of a universe, but a multiverse, where universes and planets, such as Earth, were replicated and mirrored across a vibrating, infinite plane. Some barely different from the next. Others drastically so.
This is DC On Screen. Every week, Dave and Jason talk about the multiverse of DC properties on film and television. But be warned, if it's been officially released, you can expect they'll spoil it.
Welcome into DC On Screen episode 472. I am your host, David C. Robertson. This is my co-host, Jason Goss.
Hello.
Today we are talking about the pilot episode of Krypton on Syfy channel. Oh my goodness, man, it's finally here. The thing that we have not been waiting for.
We have.
I haven't been waiting on it.
I mean, we have, actively. But it's we live in a very distracted world with lots of capes and lots of places.
We do. And this one, like this show, they pretty much just like, the cape is on display.
Oh, the cape is apparently extremely important.
Yeah. I feel like the cape has already done the thing that they do in TV shows where it's like, the clock is ticking. And like the cape was already like a certain shortness. Because the cape disappears as they run out of time. And like, it was a certain shortness, and then later on when he looked at it, it was like longer. And kind of starting to do it, and I was like, that may have just been my imagination.
Yeah, it looked contiguous to me. I'd be willing to object to that. Yeah, that looks solid.
Okay.
It was just a long thing, and the only thing that was starting to disintegrate was the hem, and slowly. Yeah. So it looked like we had a couple of years to work this out.
I'll give it to you, but just because you use the word contiguously.
Just trying to endear myself. Also, there are spoilers here.
Oh, there are definitely spoilers. So there was a lot to like here.
Yeah. Off the top of my head, it was, I really liked the score.
The score was solid, and they weren't afraid to use the old tried and true, John Williams theme, which I am always
makes me like weepy. I mean, it doesn't just make me happy; it makes me kind of like crumble it humbles me as a human being.
Yeah, you remember when they like introduced Christopher Reeve's character on Smallville, and he like walks in to meet Christopher Reeve, and he turns around and goes dun 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 dun.
Yeah,
yeah.
I completely get that.
Yeah, I did the same thing here. I was like, oh, he's running his finger on the Superman symbol, and they're playing the thing.
Yeah, then they're playing the thing. Yeah, it was good, and like it terminated itself with like, yeah, it's the fortress, and that's great. And then I kind of thought about like, yeah, with the same kind of like USB key that has been an active thing since Man of Steel.
Man of Steel.
Yeah,
they did like a sort of a cross between Man of Steel and John Williams, or I should say Donner, I guess, but because it was like, it looked like the Man of Steel thing, the Man of Steel memory stick thing, but instead of it being like the metal from Man of Steel, it was a crystal.
Yeah.
That would have been like the Donner stuff.
Yeah.
I thought that was a nice little like melding of the continuities, I guess.
It's a nice touch. And to the same end, I thought like a lot of the costume design, especially of the court, felt very Donnery. But it kind of took some of the Man of Steel use of tones and, actual curves instead of everything being crystalline.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was neat.
It's the first time I didn't really resent like a Kryptonian setting because it looked either, I don't know, too bizarre, or even the Man of Steel Krypton was just a little CGI where maybe it didn't have to be.
I can see that.
But same time, it looked really cool. I don't want to take anything away from that, actually. I don't want to compare that. It looked really cool. And it
did.
It was engaging, and like the first 15 minutes of that film was pretty. It's pretty great. But this one, it was a nice setting. Like I liked that. I liked the costume design for where they went for it. Good Lord, I felt like they bit off what they could actually chew on the actual effects.
Mm-hmm.
There wasn't a point where I thought, well, that looks stupid,
Yeah, no, the effects were pretty gorgeous, honestly. Like,
yeah,
I even, the skimmer, yeah, it looked a little Tronish. I didn't care. I thought that was awesome. I was like, I dig Tron, dude. I dig Tron. I'm one of those, man.
Dig Tron, not a problem here.
I love the first Tron. I loved Legacy. I thought it was a lot of fun. I wish they'd made a third. I'm still hoping. I'm still hoping for a miracle.
In time. Give it time.
They're talking about the reboot now, and whatever.
Yeah.
That Legacy left open some stuff. Anyway.
There might be a Tron 2049 or whatever it would translate to, but
yeah. Well, from your lips to Perlmutter's ears, I don't know.
As far as costume design goes, the voice of Raoul, that head creeps me out.
Yeah, that was some creepy stuff, man.
It just looking at it
weird
creeps me out. Like, it gets under my skin in a way.
Mm-hmm. I feel like it's gonna be like they're gonna like take the head off and it's gonna be freaking Lex Luthor or something at some point. Like,
trying to guide past events.
I mean,
that would be a nice touch.
You don't put a head on somebody like that and then try to and then like not reveal it at some point. Like, oh no, which I said that about Veronica's father in the first season of Riverdale, and then when they actually unveiled him, I was like, oh, I don't know who that is.
Oh, yeah, well, whatever, yeah.
It's like undue drama there. Don't build that up for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought this was disturbing. Like,
it just kind of chemically got to me in a way. Like, I apparently on some level I just don't like that many faces facing the same way and not like it. I just don't. It creeped me out. I think that's the point. So good for them.
Yeah. Well, the thing about it, and I have no idea. Like, I know they've been doing this. They've had this thing in the works for years now. This thing looked like a movie, and I'm a little worried that there's nowhere to go but down from here.
Oh, sustainability.
Like, yeah, like I don't think they're going to be able to sustain those effects, that cinematography, because this thing looked like a film. It looked pretty gorgeous.
Yeah. Oh God, like the Brainiac ship. Looked great. Great. But here's the thing. It's only, I think, 10 episodes. And I don't know what they've devoted to this, but they did I think, a really good job of only needing the Syfy for a certain percentage of the time. Like, if they were thinking ahead as far as budget, good for them. But like, they only needed it to look good and go through that much post-production for a certain percentage of the actual what we saw on screen. It might be doable.
It might be, but there's a certain I don't know. There's like an entropy effect with these shows. Like Black Lightning, when it first came out, like the first episode was like pretty damn solid, and then like I swear as I've been watching it, it's like, well, that was weird and hammy. Oh, where that was kind of weird and heavy-handed. Oh, look at that. That was just dialogue that didn't need to be dialogue. It's slowly becoming a normal CW show.
They've all got those. Like, well, Black Lightning we'll talk about in a few weeks.
Yeah.
To see where that ends up. But the best example I can think of is like we still love The Flash for a lot of reasons. It pulls off so many of these really difficult things to do, and then every now and then there's a moment where you just laugh out loud and go, "Oh, that looks terrible! That looks terrible! Oh my god!" Like that Flash on Flash battle a couple of years back that looked like, good lord.
Yeah, it was bad. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Bad. But
I
then
still
you see
loved them
King
because they
Shark
went
and
for
think,
it.
how did they ever do that poorly?
Yeah. So, okay. Krypton so far, I don't think anything's looked bad. I still am struggling with a little bit of who the hell cares. And a lot of that is because, like, there's no way they're going to just, like, make it to where Superman doesn't happen.
Yeah. They're going to have to suck me into the characters. And I wrote this down from the first, like, it's a nice, good-looking picture of a burning planet. Great. Or, well, it's a burning sun. Great. You've got this, like, David Attenborough Planet Earth looking feel to it while you have a voiceover. It's like, our ending is yet to be written. And I'm hearing that and thinking, no, I've read it.
I've read it several times.
I've read several versions of it.
It always ends the same way.
All of them go the same way. But then there's the part that cracked me up later. It was like, this is the story of how we triumphed. I'm like, okay, now you've mixed tenses. It can't be we haven't done this yet, and yet we've done it, and here's how it happened.
Right.
I don't know. So there's a little bit of growing pains on, I think, the tense. And yes, my biggest problem with the show theoretically, like before even seeing this episode, is we know it's supposed to end well. Like there's no way you end this show with, and Superman doesn't exist. Go!
Right.
It just doesn't happen.
Like, I mean, I guess there's a way they could, make it to where, like, Krypton somehow survived in a pocket universe, and the explosion wasn't really an explosion. It was, somehow it was breaching space-time, and it's in a pocket universe, and Superman happened, but the critics are already saying, like, look, we're not professional critics. We're not recognized as such anyway. We don't get I believe we are, but
we certainly spend time at it.
Yeah, but we don't get the first 5 episodes all at once, and but already the critics are saying, it's bad and it's terrible or whatever. But they're also saying, like, this show isn't afraid to go its own way and to chart its own course. And I've seen that from a lot of different critics saying that about a lot of different shows. Gotham is one of those shows.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Oh,
Maybe
we were
something.
batting this around earlier, and like Discovery and Orville, same thing.
Mm-hmm.
One way or the other, they actually learned, both of those shows earned a fair amount of respect by the end of the first season run, and they clearly were willing to take risks.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I don't have a problem with them taking risks. When Mama Zod, like, put that knife through her daughter's hand, I was like, damn, y'all.
Yeah. I thought that is so Zod. Love it.
And I'll admit I'm a little intrigued by the whole, like, we are betrothed to other people, but we love each other thing. That's classic literature type shit. Yeah. That's right up there, man.
It leads to a nice fun thing though, where like early on when the dude from Vex is saying like, welcome to the family, and it's really super creepy. Welcome to the family. Here's my daughter, which you'll be bonded with. I don't know if that means physical intimacy anymore, but it's just...
Well, yeah, it does. They have sex. They just don't use their bodies to incubate children
just
anymore.
Throw it through this machine. It's weird. It's all a little creepy for me.
Well, yeah, I mean, they just stuck their thumbs on the machine and they're going to have a kid together. That much was clear.
Yeah, and the machine was like, here's genetically what will take place, and I guess I can extrapolate external values completely. That was weird. Like, I like that they kind of don't take it seriously. Like, those two specifically don't take it seriously, because it was one of those things where I saw that and thought, oh, hell no. Like, you can predict like, as far as I can tell from the nature versus nurture argument, you can predict a certain amount of kind of background to a person's being, but external circumstances, they matter. Like, you can't be like, no, he died at blah blah blah, and it was wonderful, and he died at contributing to his cause. That's ridiculous.
Yeah,
I like that they took it as ridiculous. Anyway.
Yeah, I think there was a little bit of room for that, but like, I feel like that was part of the Krypton. Like, I feel like that's part of the government is like, they're trying to create circumstances where you believe such things so that it happens. Like, they're trying to like create the future. But they also have like a caste system or whatever where they're like, oh no, this is this bloodline, and this child is gonna be best suited for this, and is gonna do this, and that's what they'll be trained for from birth. I mean, that's how Zod was, and has been in a number of continuities. Yeah. And the L's are science, the Zods are military. Yeah. So I think that's what they're going for. I did think that was corny. I did think that was kind of stupid.
Like, the only thing that made it work for me was that the what's her name? Manissa?
I don't remember her name.
I don't either. But the only thing that I really liked about it was that she didn't take it very seriously. Like, like that
old
line
long
about
leg,
like,
short hair.
The maternal warmth overwhelms me kind of crap.
Mm-hmm.
Dug that.
Yes, the
I think
maternal
I like
warmth
her,
overwhelms me.
especially the thing about he thinks he's the one who picked you. Like she could be a lot of fun.
That was dope. Yeah, that was cool. I liked Lyta Zod, man.
Honestly,
I liked her.
All of the Zods right now are working for me, and
Mm-hmm.
all of the L's are working for me. And specifically,
Dude,
I like the fact that the L's and the Zods are intertwined. Several generations before.
Yeah, or 2 generations before.
Well, yeah, I guess it is 2. It's several for the whole storyline, but yeah, 2. But yeah, I like the idea that the L's and the Zods have always kind of been part of one story.
Yeah, I'm kind of digging that, honestly. You were talking about this earlier. You liked the mother. You liked Seg-El's mother.
Yeah, complete badass.
What?
Complete badass.
Oh, complete badass. Okay.
What did you think I said?
Complete that S, and I was like the Superman S.
I guess fill that in. I don't know.
I mean, is there like a connect the dot situation? What's happening?
No, it was pretty clearly an S. Fill in the background color of that the key. I don't know. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
She's a badass. I liked her. I like her resolve, and I loved. This is one of my favorite parts. I loved that you saw and what's her name, Zod? Sorry, I haven't called everyone's name yet.
Mama Zod.
Yeah, that's the best I've got. Mama Zod,
That's what I'm calling her.
Badass who, by the way, is going to run out of guild trainees if she doesn't stop cutting and maiming them. Like her,
Oh, she knows what she's doing.
apparently she's not just a blunt instrument. But I love later that she talks about have you seen the resolve of the House of El? Like you think you believe you can control him? I'd rethink that. That was I loved that line.
Yeah,
it was
I like
so
that too.
freaking
Speaking-
Superman.
Yeah. She was like, speaking as a blunt instrument. I'd rethink that.
Yeah.
Like, oh, damn.
That was solid, man.
Damn. That was solid. Yeah, it was great. Yeah. There's a lot to like in this show so far. I enjoy Seg-El's little friend. I liked
He was a lot of fun.
yeah.
Even starting out, by the end of that, bar brawl scene, I kind of thought, well, shit, I think I like Seg-El. It's like,
Yeah.
he's a jackass in a way that I enjoy. I kind of like him. Dude can take a
Yeah.
punch. Something to that.
Yeah. We were talking about earlier. His Seg-El's mom was in the Hunger Games. She was old Katniss's mom.
I'd completely forgotten that.
Yeah, she doesn't catch a break. You know.
In the history of her characters, no. No.
Bethany, my wife Bethany pointed out to me that her husband, that Seg-El's dad, was the inspector on Sherlock.
Oh, I know I recognized him from somewhere. God, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he was pretty good.
Yeah, he was. Although he was part of one exchange that, all right, there's a little we have to tell him, oh, he's not ready.
Yeah.
And I got physically, chemically bored for a second because I think that may be my least favorite exchange in the history of media right now.
My least favorite right now is, "Are you ready? I was born ready." I'm so tired of hearing that. They will not stop using that on every show we watch.
I'm almost okay with that because it's positive, as opposed to we have to tell him he's not ready. And what you get from that sometimes is several episodes or several seasons worth of subversion. That's just the whole time you're thinking, oh Lord, when is he going to be ready?
Oh, hey, I found our old friend over on Black Lightning the other day, and that's when I was just like, oh, okay, it's officially a CW show. It's Jefferson explaining to his daughters, I lied to protect you. Oh, shut up. Oh.
I heard that too and thought, oh, damn it. I cringed. I really cringed. Oh, I did. Oh, another overall, positive for the show?
Yeah.
The Kryptonian actual dialect sounds like real people talking.
Yeah, real British people.
Real British people, but whatever. That's kind of the fun part about, if you develop a language in whatever version of whatever blah, 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 as long as you stick to something, I don't give a shit. You can they can all be British. Who cares? A bunch of aliens. Who knows? That might be their draw, you know?
Right.
I've got nothing against that, theoretically. But when you bring in that stupid freaking Kryptonian stilted, like,
daughter of daughters,
Victorian bullshit.
Oh, daughter of daughters.
Yeah.
Verily, the rouse light shines upon thine eyes.
Yeah. Several versions of Kryptonian dialect. It ends up sounding like someone wishing they were Shakespearean, but wanting to write it as though the masses would understand. You know, it's just stupid.
I feel like that's Marlon Brando's fault.
I've never looked at it. Historically, you might be right.
Yeah, go look at it. Like, I mean, Zod didn't really talk like that back in those days.
No.
He was just, son
Which
of
is
Jor-El before
ridiculous
Zod.
for a guy who once yelled, like, what's her name? Like, for a guy who once yelled, Stella! In the middle of the street, it's odd that he took charge of this weird, haughty kind of way of speaking for a while. But
yeah, he played Jor-El as if it was like, like Kelsey Grammer playing Jor-El or something.
No, I've seen Kelsey Grammer actually use human words.
Oh yeah, me
this
too.
This was something else, something deeper. This was like if you distilled Frasier and just the two brothers and just like distilled that and then I don't know, multiplied it by Downton Abbey and then distilled that into some sort of Kryptonian dialogue. I was super happy with this show. That a few of the things they said felt like a thing a human would say.
Yeah. This show did a good job with that. I was worried about that. I didn't want to watch an entire show of people talking like the Kryptonians talk on Supergirl.
Right. God.
Which is like, I think the worst version of that I've seen in a long time.
That was taxing. Just emotionally taxing. But
yeah, it's rough.
Long term, Seg, pretty likable.
Yeah, I'm down with it so far.
As a main character, I'm kind of digging him.
I don't know that I have a whole lot more. I hate this piece of shit who has bonded Seg-El to his daughter. I hate that dude so far.
I think you're supposed to hate him, so there's that.
Yeah. Oh man, when the grandpa got killed, man.
Yeah.
That was rough.
I think it's going to end up being important that the grandpa says you made the wrong choice. Like I think that's going to be important for that character. Right? Mm-hmm. You could have believed me, but you went with the whole, head of Ral thing, so we'll do with that.
The voice of Ral?
Voice of Ral, yeah.
Yeah. When they killed the parents, I was bummed out. Like that was rough.
I was, and in terms of blocking, it looked a little clunky. But
I didn't really notice that. But.
It just, like, the way she grabs the gun and stands up, like, the reaction time of Mother Zod versus, like, how long it would take for that woman to grab the gun off the ground, out of that guy's hand, and pull it out. It's just, like, the blocking was a little weird. But
I can see that.
I also kind of saw it as, like, suicide by cop.
Uh-huh.
Like, clearly, God, I feel like we should know her name, but for now, Mother Zod... clearly has some sympathy, and they bring it up, like Dickwad, as you're describing him, brings that up, like maybe you had some sympathy for him, and you showed him mercy.
I've got a lot of class.
Yeah. But yeah, like there's something there that she did. She put him down, and like she gave him a good death despite what they said. Like there's something there that I'm kind of interested in. Like, why did she feel the need to take mercy on those two and give them a quick death? Because she could have chosen otherwise. Mm-hmm. And, same reasons. Like, I love the mother in this, pilot. Like, she was strong. She was a badass. Like, she had a whole plan. Mm-hmm. There were flaws in that plan. But she showed a ton of resolve that, like, really reflected, like, it's the kind of strength that I love seeing later in the character that we all love. Mm-hmm. My biggest problem with the show, though.
What's that?
Right now. The pilot of this episode is, like, Seg just goes to his pointy-haired friend, whose name I don't know right now because we're not that cool. He just goes to his friend and says, like, hey, I need a favor. And suddenly he has a skimmer.
Uh-huh.
Like, it feels like if the parents had just talked about the fortress to Seg, they could have gotten a skimmer with 0 body count.
Yeah, hindsight is 20/20.
I guess. Instead, she stole it and erased the GPS data. I think she said something out. I think she said map data, but whatever. But she erased where the skimmer went, but couldn't erase the thermal data of how many people were sitting in it and whatever. Like, apparently they just could have gotten another one that wasn't owned by the guild. Yeah.
And it also bothered me is like, this is a problem the elves have. Whereas like there was plenty of room in that little like crawl space where Seg-El was hiding out. He's like, "Come with me." She's like, "No, I can't." Like, "No, you totally could have. There was room."
I mean, there was room, but maybe I could see it. Like, even if you had a hiding place that you thought was 99% the best thing that's ever existed, and your child was in there, maybe you think 1% chance. I'm just going to take the fall.
Mm-hmm. If they have somebody to blame, they won't go looking for him.
Yep, I could see that.
Yeah. I just saw it and thought, those elves are all a bunch of damn martyrs.
But that's actually something the show kind of focused on, and I appreciate that. Is apparently especially that Zod reference to the resolve of the Hell Syfy. I kind of thought, oh shit, yep, I think this show gets it. Damn.
Yeah.
I guess I'll have to be interested. And I don't really know what to make of the term Black Zero.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it as a terrorist organization. And by the way, points to the show for a great shot of, I guess, a terrorist arm bomb getting blown off by...
Oh, that was brutal.
It was super brutal, but it was a really fun shot.
I liked it.
I mean, made for great TV. I still don't know what to make of the Black Zero movement.
I mean,
I'm sure we're going to explore it more.
It's been around in the comics and stuff for a long time.
It's been off my radar, man. That's one that I don't have track of. I've got to look that one up and do some research.
Yeah, I mean, I think a couple of people had maybe that name, and then there was also a few. I think there was like 2 or 3 terrorist organizations in the comics, and another group like a I don't know, like a special ops group or something. I'd have to look it up, and I haven't done that. So yeah. I'm sorry, I failed. I failed.
Yeah, we learn as we go. God help us all. But, dude, we got Adam Strange.
We did, and I didn't care for him too much.
You didn't like the guy?
I didn't like him.
I did like him.
He moved his mouth weird the whole time.
I don't know what to do with that.
Yeah, I don't know. It was like, I don't know, man. It was just weird. I don't know what he was doing. He was making weird noises with his mouth and pretending it was talking. I don't know. It just looked weird. And it got better as the episode went on. But like when he first meets Seg, it's just like, I don't know. He's making Adam Sandler faces. He's like, I mean, it's like it looked like he was doing that and they overdubbed it with a voice. It was just real weird and took me out. I was like, what is he doing? Like, this is really bad acting.
Like, the way you're describing it, it sounds like they gave him a version of the script before and then had him ADR a version of the script afterward.
No, let me alter than what I've said, if that's what it sounded like I was saying. It looks like they put a bunch of peanut M&Ms in his mouth and told him to read his lines.
And then had him read them afterwards.
Yeah.
So we can make sense of it?
Yeah, and then later it was more normal. But that first scene was just like real weird to me.
The one where he like pulls him by the lapels?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
And it was also weird they had him smoking. That was weird. Like, I was like, all right.
Oh, I mean, Marlboro Reds, man. I mean, he's...
Yeah, Cowboy Killers, yeah.
Like, the one that if I had 2 puffs of, I'd throw up like a 13-year-old teenager who stole his parents' cigarettes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that part.
Yeah, I mean, I did my Dance with a Cowboy years ago, but...
Sure. Well, did.
I mean, I don't know.
It was Camel Wides that rid me of the habit. I thought, oh, Lord, I can't take this.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not feeling Adam Strange so far. He's doing a weird job with the acting, and I don't know. I don't know what exactly it is, but he bothers me so far. and I don't want him to. I'm sorry.
I am going to disagree. I don't really remember what you're talking about.
Okay.
Not that it's not there. I just didn't catch it. And yeah, it was really nice to see an Adam Strange.
He
and
also a little bit acts like Tyler Durden from Fight Club.
Really?
A little bit. Like he's got kind of that air about him. Oh, I just dropped a thing. He's got that's gonna show up on the recording.
It sure will. I'm not going back to that.
Yeah,
That
I'm
happening.
not. I wouldn't advise it. Don't be a fool. Just take the hit, man.
We'll live.
I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it is. Adam Strange. He's got a bit of a Brad Pitt playing Tyler Durden type of thing going on, but also a little bit of like an Adam Sandler mouthful of shit kind of thing going on. I don't know what to make of him. I don't know what to make of him.
I don't even know how to like qualify what you're talking about.
I don't either.
It just felt like, oh, okay, well, this is a neat take on Adam Strange, and I moved on.
I'm not sure I've seen a take on Adam Strange yet.
Oh, no.
There's a guy saying he's Adam Strange.
Yeah, no, it's unprecedented.
There's a guy saying he's Adam Strange, but I'll be damned if I've seen any bit of Adam Strange so far that I know.
Oh, well, you have, though. Like, in this episode, it was a guy who was running out of time in this time and kind of evaporated. Apparently, the forces that propel him have limits. That's fine.
Yeah, okay.
And then he vanishes in a cloud of, like a slight green fog, which would be worrisome. If someone pulled me into an alley and said, I have all this information to unload on you, and part of it was like, your grandson, blah, 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 and time is at risk, and blah, 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 and the universe, blah, 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 I, too, would think, I think I need to get you to someone who can medicate you. Uh-huh. But if that person vanished in a cloud of dust... Mm-hmm. I would rethink
Maybe someone needs to medicate me.
Yeah. First thought would be, well, I'm gonna dust my jacket for fingerprints and see if there's any proof that this person ever existed. Uh-huh. And if that person did exist, I have some thinking to do. If that person didn't exist, someone else has some thinking to do about how much I should be allowed to think.
Like, oh, sweetie, you need help. Poof. Oh, sweetie, I need help.
Yeah. Fair enough.
I'm looking forward to the rest of the show. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do. I didn't even feel like it was dumb when he was like, but the true name is Brainiac. Like, yeah, all right.
No, that worked for me.
Yeah, I mean, it's a dumb name.
Yeah. It's a dumb name tied to a character that they're giving an honest shot right now. So, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, Brainiac looks sick.
He really looks really damn good. I mean...
Yeah.
We've got.
I'm on board for the show.
We've got 10 weeks with this bitch. Good. Let's see what's happening.
I mean, yeah, there's a bit of a meh factor for me, but
like only because the stakes of the show are a false premise.
It's just that's what I feel. That's how I feel.
But and I feel like we proved this talking about it for 30 minutes. Like they have kind of made the internal universe a little worthwhile, and that's kind of all you need at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I mean, it's if I know a prequel's going to, work out, it's fine, but it can still have its own internal motivations and its own internal stakes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, the bottom line is when they show me that S and they go, no, I still go, oh, girl.
Yeah.
And that's all you really need.
Yeah. I just like
I'm too invested in that damn cape.
Yeah, that's the problem. Seriously, I could be driving down the highway and turn a corner and see like a billboard with that S on it, and just suddenly the radio took over and said dum dum ba ba bum bum bum, and I would just start weeping and have to pull over because I couldn't drive anymore.
Yeah, or get so like full of like inspiration, dude. Like I will like hear that and like get like so inspired, like just like my chest full of inspiration, just like I sit up straight, Like,
that's probably a better reaction than me just weeping and being humbled.
Yeah.
I'll never be that. Oh my God. Try as I might,
Oh.
Like, in my situation, you would see that and be like, I'm going to be a better driver.
Oh, yeah. Whew. So, yeah, I'm down for the show. Interested to see where they go from here.
I'm down. Surprisingly down. I didn't know how to anticipate my feelings for the show, but
yeah,
it's really got a lot going for it.
Yeah, it's better than I thought it would be. More visceral than I thought it would be. Darker than I thought it would be.
You watch Superman's grandpa like spit out his own mouth blood, and you think, okay, well, I guess there's something happening.
Yeah.
While he's trying to make time to hedge a bet. Yeah, that was a good start.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm down. Let's do it. I don't know. Yeah. Maybe, hopefully 10 episodes will not afford them too much filler.
That's my hope. Like, I'm hoping it's not traditionally a sci-fi thing as far as I have paid attention to, but hopefully they give it a kind of ending.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I hear the, we got like 1.3 million viewers, something like that, the pilot episode. So I don't know what Syfy usually does, but I can't imagine it's usually better than that.
No, it's actually pretty good for Syfy. I mean, it really is like CW as far as numbers.
Mm-hmm.
If they
that's what I would think.
Yeah, if they hit the million mark, that's a pretty good show.
Actually, I'm curious. I don't know why. Ooh, 58% on Rotten Tomatoes, 81% on the average audience score, though. Okay. That sounds right.
Don't know why you're curious.
I'm just curious. Like, I am. I don't know why. I don't know why I am either. It's just like, oh, well, you shit on everything else. Let's see what you thought about this.
Well, okay. A pure audience rating on TV Time resulted in, I think, 7.9.
Okay. That sounds close to 81%.
I don't know. I like that rating more. That makes more sense to me. Like, sure, there's some stuff that can be improved. Sure. Of course. It's a pilot.
Yeah.
But it wasn't 50-something.
Mm-hmm. I mean, like, on Rotten Tomatoes, I do like to see the average audience score versus the critic score.
Oh, yeah, it's always...
I do like to see I like to see what the rift is.
Yeah. It's usually very wide. At least in the properties we focus on.
Yeah. It's like, I want to see what this guy who, wrote This Is Us on a napkin and jerked off with it thought about Krypton. That's what I want to know. Sorry, I've never seen This Is Us. I can't say if it's good or not. I just see some, angry little man weeping violently as he's pleasuring himself to the thought of This Is Us. I don't know.
Oh, you see this wrongly.
Should I ask the question?
Which one? There are a few. Which one?
Oh, okay. How am I wrong? How about that?
Oh, okay, that one, the basic one. It's not just some dude in the corner misperceiving it. It's literally.
Oh, I didn't say that.
It's This Is Us. The part that cracks me up about it the most is it's like there was some writer with magical powers that took all of the soap operas that you've ever watched and put them in one cauldron and then distilled that over several years into like 1 teaspoon's worth of potency and then gave that to a writer and shoved it down his damn throat and said, "You're the head writer of this new series called This Is Us."
Uh-huh.
And then a bunch of people talked to him over and over again about how like there shouldn't be Vaseline on the lens and we should take this seriously. And what it essentially became is the most soap opera thing you've ever seen without ever reminding you that you're watching the most soap opera thing you've ever seen.
So it's like all the bad... it's like a country music song, but without that bit at the end where the person like mugs for the camera and smiles evil-like, letting you know that they've got something up their sleeve.
Well, 2 things about country music songs these days. One, you don't always get that wink at the end. Sometimes they're just sad. And 2, it's just more expensive. It's
all right.
I have wandered through the living room and watched 15 minutes of the show and felt weepy. It is the most saccharine, cloying thing I have run across in a very long time. I'm not trying to take away from it. It's actually not badly written. I don't want to take away from This Is Us, but it is built a certain way.
It is built to get you emotionally invested.
Yeah. Like,
on a level that is unhealthy.
Yeah. Let's put it this way. My wife, as far as I understand, did not watch the last episode of this because she read the recap, understood what happened, and thought, I can't do that. I can't do that. Like, just emotionally couldn't do that.
Why does that make me want to watch it? I think I have issues.
See, I know what she was talking about, and I kind of agreed with her. Like, yeah, I get it. It's just going to make you cry for like 2 hours. Totally get it. Totally get it.
Because I seek that kind of shit out. Like, I love watching. Like, sometimes I just need to sit down and watch My Life starring Michael Keaton.
No, that's one of the wonders of fiction is the catharsis of going through a moment that you maybe have never experienced before, or maybe a thing you didn't realize you needed to experience, and God help you when you find it. The thing you're experiencing right now, but someone externalized in a way that you hadn't thought of yet, and oh my God, I'm feeling that right now, and I'm just gonna have a good cry. Mm-hmm. There's all that. But yeah, sometimes it. And I had to agree with her on this one. It was like, I know what's happening. I cried reading the recap. I don't need to watch it. Yep, I get it. Totally get it.
Yeah, well, I might find myself watching that stupid show one day.
I can't even agree with you about stupid show. It's not a bad show, man. And Mandy Moore, I didn't know she was capable of this kind of thing. Milo Ventimiglia, like we knew Milo was capable of this kind of thing.
I knew Milo was.
We knew the guy from Arrow, whose name I can't remember, is capable of these kinds of things.
Oh, not Arrow, right? It's Smallville. Justin Hartley?
Smallville. Sorry. The Arrow from Smallville. My bad. But yes, Justin Hartley. We knew he was capable.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
What show are we talking about?
Krypton.
That's a weird place to put it. This Is Us. Tiny review. All right, let's call this, man. Let's call it.
I agree. All right, so if you enjoyed how much that went off the tracks, I highly suggest you hang out with us when we post our news episodes. We just kind of talk about whatever news we feel like talking about and give you our opinions on it. Nothing more deep than that, usually. Yeah. There are usually a fair amount of tirades, tangents, if you will. Very much like the This Is Us tangent that we just went on.
You tell us if it was well-informed. I don't know.
I don't know if it's well-informed. I've never seen the damn thing. But if you enjoyed the tangent, I fully endorse us. And if you like what you just heard, please hit that subscription button on your podcatcher. Every episode of DC on Screen, all 473, so 472, whatever it is right now. They're all on DCOnScreen.com for free. And we're going to be coming back pretty soon with a Constantine City of Demons review. The animated short animated series, very short animated series on CW Seed, starring Matt Ryan as John Constantine. We'll be talking about that. So until then, keep some DC on your screen. Our opening narration was from Dan Jurgens' The History of the DC Universe, Part 3 of 10, as featured in DC 52, Week 4. It was performed by me, David C. Robertson. Intro music by Jason Goss and Michael Shackelford. Michael's band, Future Elevators, could be found on Spotify or future-elevators.com. Our introduction was performed by Effie Ophelders of the fantastic podcast Stealing the Remote, which lives on SoundCloud. It can also be found on iTunes and Stitcher. We are proudly in partnership with TV Time, the TV show calendar and social media site that lets you keep track of what you're watching, what your friends are watching, and where you all left off. DC On Screen is a maladjusted production. Visit maladjusted.tv for more from me and Jason, including sketch comedy, an improvised web series, vlogs, parodies, and more.